Hey y'all, I am so excited to bring you this video today. Now, this is actually a speech that Melissa gave at a retreat, and I heard it and asked her to share it with y'all. So, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you are encouraged from it. And if you have not already joined the Loved and Blessed Ladies community, I hope that you will be encouraged to join us, because there are more women, down-to-earth women like Melissa in our community who are all about sharing encouragement, lifting each other up, supporting each other through the ups and downs of life. So I hope that you enjoy listening to this little chat from Melissa. And yeah, I'll see y'all on the other end.
Hi, everyone. So I think you know I'm Melissa Winters. I'm a member of the Loved and Blessed community. And Jamila had asked me to share a talk that I gave in November for my parish retreat. And I wanted to share it with all of you. So I hope you all get something out of it. Matthew 25:35-40. For I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you invited me in. I needed clothes and you clothed me. I was sick and you looked after me. I was in prison and you came to visit me. Then the righteous will answer him, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go to visit you? The king will reply, truly, I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. Hi, everyone. So I'm the oldest of four, two brothers and a sister. My life looks a little bit different growing up than I ever imagined it would. As a little girl, I would play nurse with my baby dolls because all I knew then was I wanted to be just like my mom and help people. She was and still is my hero for so many reasons. I also played house and was the mommy. The other thing I knew for sure was someday I was going to be a great mom too. What's that saying I'm sure you've heard of though? While we are all busy making other plans, God laughs. I thought of this saying because as I got a little bit older, I realized God had other plans for my life. A tiny bit of my backstory is I was born with very severe asthma. It was so bad that I've had to take steroids since the age of 1 year old. Over the many years, the steroids, the same medication that literally saved my life so many times, also had many awful side effects and made my life so much of a challenge. I missed a lot of school for many things and basically taught myself a lot. I had tutors, but not all of them were very good. I felt God blessed me with the smarts I had to do this and graduate high school. I deal with chronic pain from severe osteoporosis from the steroids and get many infections. I was brought up Catholic and went to Catholic school my entire life, except 3.5 years of it. I know as far back as I can remember, I had a great love for Jesus and my faith. I attended Sunday school, CCD, and youth ministry. I learned by my mom's example how to pray and follow Christ. I enjoyed youth ministry very much. It was one of the few social activities I was able to participate in most of the time, and I loved being around others who shared in my faith. Due to all of my health problems, I stayed in the area to go to college and went to the College of St. Elizabeth. I was going for a degree in psychology. I always knew I wanted to help others. This was my ultimate goal. I now know, after many talks with my mom, that my plan to go into nursing wasn't going to be an option for me physically. Once again, I had to change course and revise the plan I had. So my next idea was to counsel children and teenagers. I always felt so blessed to have the wonderful relationship I did growing up with both my parents. I knew many kids growing up that couldn't talk to their parents about anything that came up. I wanted to be that person, a child or teenager battling depression, anxiety, etc., could come to for help. I wanted to be that person that truly would be there to listen. Like most people in college, I was seeking out my purpose in life. However, once again, God had different plans for me. I ended up having a bad fall the middle of my junior year in college and broke my femur. Due to unforeseen circumstances, the surgery was a disaster and my femur wasn't repaired. I was told I would be in a wheelchair and bedridden for the rest of my life. It was a very hard 5 years. But as you see, even doctors don't always have the plan correct. Christ had me on his mind and again was leading me through. We found a doctor in New York that was able to fix my leg and my hip, which allowed me to walk again. This was one of my many miracles. Why am I telling you this, you may be asking? The reason is because I yet again had to find what my purpose was. If I couldn't help people as a counselor, then what? I always tried to keep in mind the Bible verse my mom would remind me of time and again. The verse is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. So my next step was I began doing Antioch teams again. Antioch is the sophomore retreat at my parish they have to go on before they make their confirmation junior year. A group of juniors and some seniors get chosen to be on the team and put the retreat together. This was really one of the last places I felt at peace. I was able to help out Anne Marie, who is the youth minister here at St. Vincent's. That's my parish. As a young adult on the team. This was my first experience in my adult life I had with Christian outreach. Then soon after, I decided to sign up to teach the once-a-month confirmation classes to the freshmen coming in. Wow, I was going to be helping teenagers as I wanted all along, but in the form of faith outreach. God definitely led me to teach these classes at this specific time because I didn't know that the teacher in the other freshman class, who also just signed up this year, would soon become one of my very dearest friends in this world, Jennifer Lemby-Lindner. I felt I must have been on God's mind since I really needed a friend so badly. And there she was. Jen and I would plan our lessons together each month. We then started to hang out outside of Sunday night classes. The first big event we went to together was an NSYNC concert. I also recall a 4th of July one year when we went over to her Nana's apartment right across the street from the church. Her Nana cooked for me, Jen, her sisters, and their parents. After we ate, Jen and I went over to Florham Park, where we watched the fireworks. Now, to many of you listening, that might not sound like much of a big deal, but this memory is so very vivid in my mind because that was the first time I was able to spend a holiday like that with a friend and even got to watch the fireworks light up the sky. Our friendship is a blessing and one I am so grateful for. I believe one main reason is that it is built on our mutual love of God and our faith. We can tell each other almost anything. It makes it easy when you share the same foundation of beliefs. Once more, the outreach I did teaching confirmation classes, not only did I help these teens, but it ended up giving me so much back as well. Then, 3 years ago, I learned about Cornerstone. This is the other retreat I went on in November. I was so excited to attend my first Cornerstone retreat. It was such an amazing experience, as hopefully many of you are finding out by now as well. I knew when it was over that I wanted to be on the next team. I wanted again to help other women find the same wonderful experience I had. Cornerstone allowed me to finally feel like I had a place where I could belong, no matter what. I felt like I was wanted and needed by these lovely ladies. I now call my Cornerstone sisters. I knew in my heart that this was part of God's plan He had for me. The year I began being part of Cornerstone team was the year COVID began. We began to have meetings on Zoom so that whenever we could safely have our retreat, we would be prepared. The Zoom meetings allowed me to be able to attend almost everyone because when I wasn't feeling at my best, I was still able to log on to my computer and participate in faith sharing. However, after a few months of lockdown, I was beginning to feel so isolated. I felt the loneliness creeping in. Something within me was longing for more connection and to somehow grow in my faith during this time. I was on my iPad one day doing nothing special, and I came across a Christian community of women that sent out monthly encouragement boxes at the time if you joined. I didn't realize right away that wasn't the best part. It is also an online community of Christian women. The community is called Loved and Blessed Ladies. We lift each other up and encourage each other, as well as pray for each other when someone has a prayer request. I joined in June of 2020, and in September, there was an online retreat. I attended for an entire 6 hours on a Saturday. There were women from all different states. It was truly an amazing experience. After that day, I began to message the woman that founded this community and made it known if there was anything I could do to help this wonderful space grow, I would love to do it. There are different areas of interest you can choose to be a part of within the community. I had let her know how much I enjoyed music, and she asked me if I'd like to start the topic uplifting music. I, of course, said yes. I couldn't believe it. I had found another form of Christian outreach that I was physically able to become a huge part of. And it is now more than I could have ever imagined. This past winter, I was given the opportunity to write my first guest blog post. It was then published in the Loved and Blessed ladies community. I felt this was another form of outreach where I could tell my own experience of how to have faith in Christ even when life throws you a curveball. Hopefully, my message would reach other women in something they might have been through. Next, I was asked by Jamila, the founder and head of running it, if I would like to chat with her over Zoom. It was just like a podcast. She asked me if I'd be comfortable sharing more of my story to help encourage other women. She gave me a bunch of topics she wanted to touch on and then asked if there was anything else I'd like to discuss. It was so great to feel I was really needed. I felt so good about myself and the progress my life was making that really started back at my first Cornerstone retreat. Then, just a couple of weeks ago, I was asked if I would like to lead a book club over Zoom. It is with a book called The God Who Stays by Matthew West, his latest book he wrote. I am so excited to be asked to do this. I feel like with all of these things I've done in the last 3 years, God had me on his mind. It felt like he put these opportunities in front of me, and I said yes to them. For one of the first times in my life, I was beginning to feel like I had a purpose here in this life. Of course, God had me on his mind all along, just as he has each one of us on his mind. He knew the plan for me always, but I had to trust in it. I see very clearly now what I think I am being called to do. Share my experiences, good and bad, and how my faith and Christ's love has touched me through them. If I share them with others, then maybe what I always wanted to do can still happen. I can still help people by telling them not to lose faith. I can let others know what I am telling all of you today. You don't have to feel like you are alone or there is no way for you to do any kind of Christian outreach. There are many things we can do to help others. You just have to find what you can do. Lastly, I wanted to say that no matter how hard life gets, and no matter how dark the hole you may find yourself in at times, there is always hope. And God sends you earth angels. In my case, my mom, my friend Jen, and Jamila. As Matthew West says in his song, you are on his mind, and it doesn't matter what kind of shape you are in. He tells us to come as you are.
Wasn't that so encouraging? I hope that you really enjoyed that. There is a song that was on Melissa's heart that she was actually able to share when she gave this speech at the retreat that she attended. But for copyright reasons, I could not actually attach the song on to the end of this video. So definitely make sure to check out the description below this video and see the links for the song that she wanted to share to encourage your heart. Melissa shares all kinds of uplifting music inside of our Loved and Blessed Ladies community. So I hope you will join us there. Visit our uplifting music section and see all of the different songs that all of us share and that Melissa really kind of moderates for us. And also check out all of the other great places and conversations and groups within the Loved and Blessed Ladies community where you can interact with other like-minded women. All right, I hope that I will see you there, and until next time, stay encouraged.